Hello, good day. Welcome back to my channel, the Uncensored Asian Vlog, and today is another very interesting day because we're gonna do some reaction video and we're gonna discuss as well some pressing issues that we face as a country today, like the issue of vaccine distribution, COVID, etc. And as you can see, my screen is showing you this TikTok account of one of the most notorious defenders, or I don't know what to call, but probably defender or fanatic or cultist of President Duterte. So you probably know who this guy is by simply looking at her face. So this is a new defender or cultist or fanatic of President Duterte. So but let me just tell you something, okay? I'm not a blind Duterte critic. Okay, I've been criticizing or been very critical of previous administrations, from Gloria Macapagal Arroyo administration to Noynoy Aquino to this presidency or the incumbent president, especially during the time or term of Noynoy Aquino. I was an unabashed critic, so I was a very strong critic of his RH bill, which became law, okay, which I call socialistic policy, which I call inani status, okay, policies. I believe that, when it comes to reproductive health, it is your responsibility as the individual, to provide yourself with these services. So if you can buy cigarettes, if you can buy alcohol, if you can buy load, you can also buy condoms, you can also buy pills. Personal responsibility is free of charge, it doesn't cost anything. So that's my main argument against this RH law. I'm a very objective critic, so I don't just criticize just for the sake of criticizing a sitting government, so I'm not that stupid. So alright, so we're gonna get down to these videos or TikTok videos coming from this guy, Jam Magno. Her name is Jam Magno, and the other guy is, of course, the talent manager, the very popular famous talent manager, Ogie Diaz. So they've had this ongoing TikTok cat fight. Okay, the good thing about TikTok, unlike any other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram is actually very interactive, but Facebook and YouTube is that TikTok will allow you to make an Insta video, okay, just to respond to your critic or the hater, or just to create a video in just a couple of seconds or even minutes or even seconds. So alright, so that's how easy it is for anyone to make a TikTok video. All you need to do is just put your camera in front of your face using your front camera and then click on the upload button on your TikTok app, and voila, you can make a video in just 15 seconds and upload it. Okay, that's how easy it is to debate on TikTok. It's very interactive. So let's get down to this issue between Jam Magno and Ogie Diaz. So let me just tell you something, because I don't freaking know who this Jam Magno is. I don't freaking know where she came from and why the hell she thinks that she knows a lot when she doesn't actually anything about politics. That's my verdict. That's just my personal opinion when I saw some of her videos, because on TikTok you can see anything as long as someone or an account goes through your FYP. You can see his or her video and probably comment, like, and just ignore it. So alright, so this is very interesting because, by the way, I promised to speak in Tagalog or Taglish. So, napaka-interesting yung topic nito kasi nakakatuwa. It's very entertaining, very interesting, very hilarious. So, these people are so invested in partisan politics. So I don't call it politics per se, because politics is supposed to be, a very intelligent discourse between individuals. So you don't have to engage in politics to be so interested in politics. So what I call this type of a squabble between these personalities online is it's a plain partisan politics. It's not politics per se, because they say politics is dirty. Why do you engage in politics? Why the hell you spend so much of your time talking about politics? Because probably you don't understand what politics is. Okay, politics is very, very important to our rights. Okay, it is when you go out, when you express your mind, when you pay your tax, when you buy everything, it's all about politics. There is um, political fiber, or politics in what we do. Okay, you just don't know it. So when you talk on social media, for example, about any issues that you think has no relation to politics, that is politics, especially if you talk about feminism, about rights, about anything. So politics is, understanding politics. Let me just clarify. Understanding politics is the same as trying to protect your rights, okay, from anyone, not just the government, but from anyone, from your politicians. So to be aware. I don't want to use the word woke, because the word woke is also politically laced. Okay, it's political. It's an invention by America's progressives or liberals. So the word woke, the word feminism, these are all political terms. Okay, so let's get down to this issue, because in the Philippines, as I'm gonna tell you right now, that the problem in the Philippines is that it's not politics per se. It's actually partisan politics, but not just that. It's the fact that a lot of people are into this cult of personality. Mind you. Just take note of that. So when we're supposed to be talking about ideas, when we talk about politics, it's all about ideas. It's about ideology, ideas. It's about anything that is supposed to be rational. It's supposed to be logical. Alright, let me just clarify that what I'm about to tell you is that politics is supposed to be about the discourse or discussion about rights, ideas, not about comparing politicians. Okay, like, well, my bet is actually better than yours because so and so and so. That's partisan politics, and that is cult of personality as well. And this is the reason why I'll be reacting to this video between Ogie Diaz and Jam Magno. To be honest with you, I don't know who this Jam Magno is, but when I check her videos, it looks like she seems to know a lot when she doesn't know anything at all, to be honest. So she's like a know-it-all moron. Okay, it's a psychopath probably, or a narcissistic partisan. Okay, but let's watch her videos, because there's a lot to unpack when I actually check her channel, really. So alright, let's start with this, how her, the cat fight between Jam Magno and Ogie Diaz started. So I think it started when Jam Magno and her followers or fellow cultists, okay, reacted or commented on Mr. Ogie Diaz getting, a COVID vaccine. Okay, so let's watch this video, shall we?
Hiyang-hiya naman kami sa mga galit na galit sa gobyerno. Ang kakapal ng mukha ng mga pangit na to, pero unang nagpabakuna.
I love the way she talks, really. I love the way she's so condescending in the way she talks. But let me just make sure that I'm just gonna be showing you the videos first, and then I'll be reacting to them after that. So I'm gonna try hard not to interrupt the flow of these videos. Okay, so let's continue.
Wow! Medical frontliners? Anong ambag kundi ingay pero unang-una sa bakuna? Diba? Ang galing makangawa.
Ambag.
Galing makahanap ng bakuna para lang pala sa mga sarili nila. I do suggest na huwag na kayo magpabakuna para naman maging positive kayo for a change. Oo. Kasi negatron kayo no? Pero naisip ko rin, tama rin naman pala na magpabakuna kayo kasi hiyang-hiya naman po kami, nagagamit pa po kayo ng mga beds. Kunwari kung ilalagay kayo sa DPWH ng mga newly built hospitals and facilities, di ba? Wow, hate the government, but first when it comes to using its resources. Iba naman talaga itong mga pangit, no? Ito yung mga makakapal mo. Hiyang-hiya naman kami.
Alright, so there's a lot to unpack there. And, it's this video alone is gonna tell you whether Magno is intelligent or smart or not. Okay? By the way, I don't know who she is. Okay? She's probably trying to audition as a wannabe member of the presidential communications team. Okay? Probably she's running to replace Mocha Usan as the country's fake news queen. Okay? Siguro gusto niyang maging communications director probably in the future. I don't know, because if you're gonna check her videos, you're gonna try to categorize who she actually is and what she does. Okay? Try to categorize, try to define her position, really. Ano bang pinaglalaban niya? Yun yung magandang tanong. Ano bang pinaglalaban ng taong to? So, because if you're in a society, okay, and we have freedom of expression, and the freedom of expression of free speech right, the Bill of Rights, as we call, as they were adopted by our government from America's, Constitution, the Bill of Rights includes the right to free expression, the right to free speech. And that right is a limitation. The Bill of Rights is a limitation on government powers or coercive powers. Okay? Are you following me? Okay. The right that we have to free expression is a limitation on government authority, on state authority. You're given that right, okay, whatever it is, God, by your nature as a human being, to express yourself, to express your thoughts, okay? Not just to talk in social media, to write, but also to peaceably assemble, okay? So, no one can abridge your right to free speech. Our Constitution says that, okay? So, ang ibig ko lang sabihin nito ay, itong rights na to sa Bill of Rights ay nililimit niya yung power ng government. It's a control. It's a control that we have over our government because our government officials are our servants. They serve us, we the people. Alright? And for this human being or creature to restrict your right by asking, ano bang naambag mo? Ano bang naambag mo? I mean, a person to say that is either a moron or just a condescending bitch, okay? Because she doesn't know what she's talking about. Because as long as you're a taxpayer, you have the right to criticize the government, whether it be that your criticism is stupid or intelligently argued. Meron kang karapatan, all right? And no one can restrict that right, not even the government, not even the Supreme Court of this country, as long as you're not violating other people's rights. But I think these are ideas. Like I said, politics is about ideas. These are ideas that this creature does not understand because she doesn't have enough brain cells to process these complicated ideas, right? So one thing, okay, there's a lot to unpack, like I said, because yung mga noonang nagpa-vaccine daw, na tuwang-tuwa naman daw siya na despite the fact that you criticize the government, you had the audacity to fall in line for vaccine COVID vaccines, right? I mean, sino ba siya? Okay, she's actually arguing from a position na yung vaccine na yun ay galing sa gobyerno. Alright? Yun yung kanyang argument. Okay? These vaccines, okay, they were not provided, they were not manufactured by the government. And even if they're manufactured by the government and distributed by the government all as well, may karapatan ka rin kasi nagbabayad ka ng buwis unless you're not paying your taxes. Right? Okay, so come to think of this. Okay, of all the commodities that we have, that we use, that we buy, that we see every day, most of these are provided by the private sector. Okay, provided by the private sector. Your cell phone, your car, your medicines, etc. Ito lang yung moment. This is the only situation, one of the rarest situation that we have, not just in this country but all over the world, that one particular commodity has become state commodity. It has become a state commodity. Okay? Na yung COVID vaccine. Okay? In a normal world, okay? In a normal world, let's just set aside the factor of its scarcity. Okay? This COVID vaccine should have been distributed by the private sector. Also, although in the United States, okay, like Florida, for example, the COVID vaccines are distributed by the private sector, Publix, for example, because the state government delegated the distribution to the private sector, especially Publix, because Publix is well distributed in many counties in Florida. Okay, in the Philippines, we have a sole provider. It's like a nationalized function of the government to provide COVID vaccine. Why is that? Why doesn't the government just let the private sector provide these vaccines? And because of this scarcity, coupled by the fact that there's just one channel of distribution in this country, nagiging mahal yung mga vaccines na to at nagkakaroon pa tayo ng utang na loob. We can buy, Ogie Diaz can buy that vaccine if he wants to, right? The government doesn't have to provide it for free, okay? Or if the government is going to provide it for free, then probably sa mga mahihirap lang yan. But if people can buy them, why not just let the private sector, do the job of distributing all this to the people who want them? In my case, I'm not really interested in getting the vaccine this early. Hindi ako atat na magkaroon ng COVID vaccine. Alright? It's my right. If I don't want to take that vaccine, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, by the way. I believe in vaccine. I just got flu shot last year. In the case of this woman, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Because Magno seems to think that COVID vaccine is a product of the government, when it's not. It's just buying all these vaccines from other countries like China, the Sinovac, for example. And we only have like a few countries that manufacture COVID vaccine, like United States, United Kingdom, Russia, China, and others. So why is it that this creature is talking like the government is the main producer of vaccine, when we don't owe this government anything when it comes to COVID vaccine, right? That's just my 2 cents about this. So let's listen to the rebuttal, or to the response of Mr. Ogie Diaz to Magno's stupid rant on TikTok, shall we?
Sabi ng babaeng Punggok, ang pangit ko daw.
Alaga.
Ako. Di tapos ang usapan. Ikaw na maganda. Diba? Dahil malapit na 15, susweldo ka na. O baka sabihin mo, wala akong ambag ha. May ambag kami sa sweldo mo. Diba? Happy? So,
All right, that's the best way to respond to a troll because, okay, I'm gonna get to the question as to whether who the hell Jam Magno is. Okay, like I said, I mean, who the hell she is? She's trying to probably usurp the role of a presidential spokesperson when she's not the presidential spokesperson. It's Harry Roque. It's Maring Harry Roque. He's the current spokesperson of Duterte. Or probably she thinks that she's President Duterte's first lady. I don't know. Or is she trying to audition to become the replacement of Mako Usan? Okay? At the PCOO, Presidential Communications Operations Office. Probably, I forgot the exact name of the office, but she's probably trying to replace Mako Usan. Okay, because we cannot categorize her unless she is Duterte's biggest troll in the Philippines. I mean, troll, okay? Let me just spell it Troll. So let me just show you the definition of a troll because, you know, if you're into politics, it's either you talk about politics freely and discuss it with other people, or you're gonna bash anyone who's critical of your idol or the president or any leader of this country. Alright, so because if your job is simply to bash anyone who's critical or who attacks your idol or your president, then you're nothing but a troll. Okay? Without showing us any valid reason why you hate anyone who's critical of your president. Right? Probably these people have, you know, valid arguments why they hate or probably they don't support the president. But instead of arguing your case, you try to bash them, you try to humiliate them, you try to use ad hominem attacks against them because you don't have any argument at all. You're nothing but Duterte's top paid troll. It's either you're paid or you're just a fanatic and you don't know what you're doing, girl. Alright, so according to what we see here from Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the word troll is defined as to antagonize others online by deliberately posting inflammatory, irrelevant, or offensive comments. So, Jam Magno, that's exactly what you're doing because you're not adding anything to the discussion, to the political discussion that we have in this country. Okay, some people criticize the government. For example, in my case, I don't like his drug policy that actually failed. Okay, remember that he promised to step down early on, you know, when he became the winner, when he was, you know, inaugurated president, that he promised to step down if he's not able to resolve or to solve drug problems in the Philippines within 6 months. But he did not step down, right? Remember that. You probably do not remember because you're a fanatic. So another definition: to harass, criticize, or antagonize someone, especially by provocatively disparaging or mocking public statements, postings, or acts. So this is exactly what Jam Magno is doing. Like, she's been like criticizing and attacking Liza Soberano, for example, and any you know public figure who attacks her idol, the president, because we cannot consider or categorize her as a public commentator. She's not a journalist. She's not a vlogger. You know, she's just there to attack anyone who is critical of the Duterte government, and she's getting a lot of followers because most DDS, or you know, let's admit it, many Duterte followers just follow anyone who loves the president or who is a proven cultist. That's the behavior of cultists. Okay, like I said earlier, what we have in this country is politics of personality. Okay, politics of personality. So let's continue. And Magno responded after she was called Punggok ni Ogie Diaz.
Ang lakas naman makipag-away ng bakla na to sa akin. Don't you have children to feed? So nauna ka na sa bakuna. Do you need a Yuda next? Is there a going rate for anybody na nakikipag-away sa akin and I get to mention them? Because I think I mentioned your name twice. So for Negatrons, may proof kasi na binabayaran kayo, diba? If you're relevant. That's kind of sad na ikaw tong sanay na empleyado and you tell me ako yung binabayaran every 15? Libre po mag-celebrate at mag-love sa Pilipinas. But for somebody like you, I'm pretty sure nangangailangan ng pamilya mo. Not only is that you look poor, you truly are poor in soul and spirit. Don't pick a fight with me, bakla. You think hindi kita sasagutin. Between you and me, ikaw ang kailangang sumikat, ako ang hindi. Laos ka na, di ba? You're a nobody, a gremlin. So you need to be a negatron para mapag-usapan. Pathetic.
What the hell? I mean, there is a lot to unpack there, but let's listen to Ogie Diaz's response.
Sa babaeng Punggok. O in fairness, mas maganda ka sa dilim kesa sa liwanag. Bakit hindi mo i-maintain yun? At saka please naman, te. Oo. Huwag mo namang ikinukumpara yung sarili mo kay Miriam Defensor Santiago na ikaw na ang modern day. Miriam, Diyos ko po, huwag naman. Huwag naman ang comparison at all. At saka huwag mo namang minamaliit ang mga frontliners natin. Mas kailangan sila kaysa kailangan ka. At saka huwag akong pinaproblema mo. Mas maraming malalalang problema sa bansa kaysa problemahin mo ako. Tingin-tingin ka rin
He's
sa
right.
paligid. Oo, baka napupulagan ka lang. Sa akin lang malinaw ang mata mo eh. Ang ganda mo nga sa dilim.
Alright, Ogie Diaz is
Wow.
right, but
Ang
there's a
lakas
lot
naman
to
makipag-away
unpack
ng bakla na to sa akin.
here, okay, her statement, because she comes across as a narcissistic psychopath, and we don't even know who she is. Anyone who listens to this video will definitely see the kind of creature Magno is, because we don't know who she is. Alright, so let's do some Google search.
Sa babaeng Punggok.
Alright? Okay, so we're gonna check if Magno is someone we already know when we don't know anything about her. So, napakayabang na akala mo siya yung napakataas niya, hindi naman siya kilala. Ano ba siya? Okay? We don't even know who she is. Who the hell is Magno? Wala. We have this Facebook post from Senora, which I think is, yeah, it's already not available online. No one knows who Magno is. But if you're gonna check
So
her
nauna ka na
videos,
sa bakuna.
she sounds like
Diyos ko po,
she's
Lord.
the best. She
Supporter
sounds
po
like
ako ng frontliner.
she's so powerful.
Do you need
She
a
sounds
Yuda
like,
next?
you know,
Mm.
she's so rich. Okay. Alright? Do you need an ayuda next? Nauna ka sa bakuna? Ang dami niyang kabubang pinagsasabi na pag napakinggan mo yung kanyang comment, you would think na according sa kanya, sa gobyerno nanggagaling ang bakuna. Okay? Alright? When, you know, that's the only way World Health Organization tries to fairly distribute vaccines all over the world. Siyempre, ipapadaan niya sa gobyerno. Kahit hindi si Duterte ang nasa gobyerno, dadaan pa rin yan sa gobyerno. Kasi nga naging state commodity na ang COVID vaccine. Alright? Idadaan nila sa gobyerno yan para maging equitable, fair yung distribution. But, itong mga followers ni Duterte, akala nila pag nagkaroon ka ng vaccine, kailangan maging parte ka ng kulto nila. Alright? That's how I understand their argument. Alright? As long as nagbabayad, if you can buy your own vaccine. You can buy it. The problem is, nagkakaroon ng monopoly. Ang gobyerno na yung mahawak ng vaccine. Kasi that's the only way the World Health Organization and other, donors. Kasi dinonate lang yan ng China. Hindi niya ba alam na yung mga doses ng vaccines na yan ay dinonate ng China at ibang mga bansa? Right? So, nabakunahan ka at critic ka ni Duterte, utang na loob mo yun. At wala kang karapatan. We have what we call vaccine shaming in this country, and it's being led by a moron named Magno. Jam Magno. Magno. Yeah, I mean, ganito mag-argue yung mga hindi alam ang pinagsasabi. So, yun yung una. Pangalawa, okay, minamaliit niya ang mga empleyado. Okay? Pakinggan nyo.
Is there a going rate for anybody na nakikipag-away sa akin and I get to...
Nakikipag-away sa akin. Sino ka ba? I mean, we don't have to argue with you. You don't say anything that's logical at all. All we can do is probably mock you because that's your only worth. You're not worth any logical argument because all you do is bash anyone. All you do is spread hate. That's all you do. All you do is try to humiliate anyone who is critical of your idol. That's all you do, right?
Them because I think I mentioned your name twice. So for Negatrons, my proof kasi
Negatrons. Right? Define Negatrons now. Negatrons is anyone. Negatron is anyone who is critical of my idol. That's probably the definition of Negatron by Magno.
Bayaran kayo, diba? If you're relevant.
Well, according to reports and intel, it is the Duterte administration who paid trolls during the elections. I'm not a Leni Robredo supporter, and I don't like her, to be honest with you. I don't even like her daughters, really, or so. I even called one of her daughters, I think it's the eldest, ignorant. So, alright, let's make sure that that's clear, shall we? Okay, so, alright, so according to reports before...
Pero abusadong amo.
Okay, we're gonna get there later. Let's try to use Google. Duterte paid trolls. Yes. And according to reports, yes, there were Philippines Troll Patrol, and Duterte admits paying trolls for 2016 elections. Alright, so who has this track record of using trolls to defend himself? It's probably your idol, the one you're trying to defend with your ad hominem attacks, right? So let's continue with Magno's
That's kind of sad na ikaw
statement.
tong sanay na empleyado and you tell me ako yung...
Sanay na empleyado. So that's one thing. She's being condescending, and she's trying to belittle employees. Nakala mo yung pagiging empleyado ay isang what do you call this? Kahiya-hiya. Something that you need to be ashamed of. Coming from this creature.
bayaran every 15. Libre po mag-celebrate.
By the way, I'm not here to defend Ogie Diaz. I'm just using this to express my thoughts, right? Ogie Diaz is not technically an employee because to be an employee, there must be an employer-employee relationship. So he's a talent manager. Ogie Diaz is a talent manager. You're managing people. You're not an employee of ABS-CBN. You're actually the boss because you're the manager of artists or actresses. All right, and you can have your talents be employed by any brands or corporations, not just ABS-CBN but also GMA7. So this moron doesn't know what she's talking about. Ogie Diaz is not technically an employee.
At mag-love sa Pilipinas. But
Love.
for somebody...
there's a difference between Philippines as a nation and the government of the Philippines. And this is what this moron does not understand. This is an analogy, the best analogy I could give you. I love China, its culture, the food, the people, because I happen to know someone who is a Chinese who is really kind, is really friendly, you know. And I like the people there. I like, the Chinese foods, the culture, etc. But I don't like the Chinese government, the CCP. There's a difference between the Chinese culture and the Chinese CCP or the government. All right? And we're going to apply the same principle to the Philippines as a nation and its people and its nature, and the Philippines as a government. The government is a separate entity because the government, there is an incumbent government, but that particular government can be replaced by any government in the future, right? So that's the difference, and this is what this moron does not understand. All right, and more so, if you love your country, more so that you need to speak out and tell your fellow Filipinos what's wrong in this country. Okay, we call it tough love. You appear to be harsh, okay, whenever you try to reprimand your son or a relative or a loved one, but you're actually doing that. You're actually chiding them. You're actually scolding them because they did something wrong, because you love them and you care for them. And we apply the same principle in this case, okay? We criticize or we're critical of the government because we love the country, okay? Not because we hate anyone, not because we hate this country. That's actually poisoning the well argument. It's a fallacious argument, really. We try to poison the well that, hey, all people who attacks the president does not love the Philippines. And who are you to say that? You're just a moron. You don't even know what you're talking about. Okay? So, let's continue.
I'm pretty sure nangangailangan ng pamilya mo.
Okay, let's try to search who's actually richer between Ogie Diaz and Magno, okay? Ogie Diaz, although this might be unreliable, alright? And we don't discount the fact that Ogie Diaz is a YouTuber, and definitely I can tell you that he's probably, what happened there? He's probably earning a lot from YouTube, alright? Probably 1 million a month. And apart from that, he's managing actors and actresses. Alright, so according to what we see here, so how much Ogie Diaz is worth at the age of 50 years old. Okay, his source of income comes from a lot of sources, really. Not just YouTube, like I said. Endorsement, TikTok, we don't know. Okay, but this is probably through like $5 million or more dollars, so that's 250 million pesos. And this creature, this moron,
Not only is that you look
this moron, she tries to belittle someone she does not know as poor. Okay, I mean, you're either a moron or you're clinically insane.
you truly are poor in soul and spirit.
Really? I mean, oh, this guy is a narcissist. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Like, really, look at your own videos.
You could fight with me, bakla.
Fight with me. That, yung bakla. Yung mahilig siya magtawag ng bakla. Okay.
You think hindi kita sasagutin?
Yun, she's a homophobe. If you're gonna check on her other videos, she's using bakla as a, there's nothing wrong with being bakla. If you're gay, you're gay, alright? That's something that we cannot do anything about, right? But there's in the English language we have the word FAGGOT or FAG. Okay, you know what that means, and we cannot even say it, lest we be banned by YouTube for violating their community guidelines. So you can be banned, you can be disparaged, or you can be cancelled if you were in the West by simply calling someone FAG. Okay, because the Westerners know that that word is derogatory, that is disparaging, that is hateful speech, etc. But we don't have the equivalent in the Filipino language or in our dialects. Although, yung bayot, the word hoy bayot, probably that's the equivalent, but we don't have an exact equivalent of the word FAG in our language. Okay, we don't have the exact equivalent, but bayot, probably bakla. I mean, gay people use the word bakla, but when you use and say it in a hateful way, the way you say it, bakla, the way this woman, this creature says it, it's like being bakla is so derogatory. Being bakla is something that you should be ashamed of. All right? It actually depends how you use it. Really, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being bakla. I mean, if you're gonna call someone bakla, because ginagawa ng iba, bakla. They're using it to try to hurt you. Okay? In their mind, they think that it can hurt you because they think that being bakla is something that you need to be ashamed of. And that's what this moron is trying to do here. This is what she's trying to do. Trying to shame someone for being bakla. Now, let me just show you another evidence why I said that.
Pero abusadong amo. Tinanggal ni TikTok yung video na ni-mass report na naman ng mga katulad ng mga bobong bakla na may tatay.
Katulad ng mga bobong bakla. I mean, the context. Context matters. The way this moron uses the word bakla as if this is something that the gay community needs to be ashamed of, something that yung connotation nagpaggamit niya ng bakla, nakala mo nakakababa, nakaka-insulto. Okay, so there's a difference between hoy bakla, punta tayo dun sa mag-outing tayo mga bakla, yun, that's friendly way kasi wala tayong equivalent ng word na FAG sa Pilipinas, right? Kasi ang alam ng mga Westerners, ang word na FAG is derogatory. It's hate speech. Dito sa Pilipinas, may mga tao na ginagamit yung word na bakla or bayot in the same manner and context as the Westerners use the word FAG. And this is how Magno is trying to use the word bakla. The way she used it, the way she said it, it's full of hate. That, hey, mga abusadong bakla, ang bakla. Okay? I mean, just watch the whole video again and try to compare it with other videos wherein she used the word bakla. This moron is not just a homophobe. She's a psychopath. She's a narcissist. That's all I can say. At dahil mahaba na tong video na to, I think it's time to end it. So that's all I can say about this. And sa mga panatiko ng gobyerno, okay? I mean, you have the right to be fanatic, but you don't have the right to shame anyone by simply availing of the vaccine because hindi yan ginawa ng gobyerno. Halos yung mga yan, donation yan ng ibang bansa. Okay? And the government is just serving as a channel kasi naging state commodity na ang COVID vaccine. Yan yung hindi nyo maintindihan. Kahit sinong nakapo dyan, magkakaroon pa rin ng vaccine at it's either donation, it's either donation or gagamitin ng gobyerno ang pera o utang para bumili ng vaccine. sa Amerika, sa China, sa UK, sa Russia, etc. So, the problem in the Philippines, like I said, is this cult of personality that we have in this country. It's not politics, really. We call it partisan politics. Okay? You're only interested in politics because you like, the one sitting in Malacanang or in the Malacanang Palace. But what if there comes a time na hindi mo gusto yung nakaupo sa gobyerno? Right? Siguro ganyan kayo dati nung hindi mo gusto yung nakaupo sa gobyerno. Dilawan. Sabi nila, I'm just interested in politics and I speak out because I love this country. That's all I can say today. And this is again an Uncensored Asian vlog. And have a good one to all of you.